to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or messages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Namaste, Big Cat. Angelic Alchemist Mother, Big Cat Wave. Just giving it a quick hot minute for the big cats to assemble, because I don't like to repeat myself. I'm too busy, interrupting myself to keep repeating myself. Oh no, how now, brown cow? Did you miss me, big cat? I was so busy. I had to go and get the crimbo food in, darling dear. The progeny get upset when there's no food in the house. They fight amongst themselves and then send the baby in. To speak to me. It looks like Mercury retrograde is going to affect the life. So if it keeps cutting out, I will cut it and then I'll make it into a video. Can you see me now? Has it unfrozen itself? Are we ready? Are we back live? Can I get a cat? Or is it still playing with us? Oh, you see me? I see you. We see each other, darling dears. Fist bump. Anyhow. The planetary energies are, as I was saying, a new moon in Capricorn. Ha ha! Yeah. While the new moon is all about new beginnings in practical Capricorn, it's a time where your mind will be sharp, darling dear. Razor sharp. Under the light of the Capricorn sun and the new moon, today is a fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely day to set new intentions that plant seeds of abundance in your future. You may not be able to take action just yet, big cat. However, in my humble opinion, what do you mean listen, I'm giving you my opinion, yeah, because we're besties, right? Pinkies up. Right? In my humble opinion, even though it's not the time to act just yet, right? Big cat, stay ready so you don't have to get ready when it's time to be ready. I done told you already. We don't play, darling dear. We kick ass, take names, right? And eat the wounded, figuratively. Under the light of the Capricorn sun and the new moon, you may not be able to take action, right? Yeah, we know this, but you're going to stay ready, right? It's also a good time to get complicated work, right, out of the way early in the day today, darling dears. So if you've got some complicated things to do, do them. Don't even think about it, because you have to put your hand on it. Any task is big until you put your hand on it. Remember I told you that. Tie up any loose ends, big cat, and run all of those last minute errands. As I said, get everything out the way today. Don't let it linger like a fart, darling dear. You'll be sorry. As the day progresses, the Capricorn moon has a minor issue. The Capricorn moon, right? Remember, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, yeah, right? That is masculine energy, and the moon is feminine energy, right? So this Saturn energy and the moon, right, is having an issue, right? With Mars in Gemini. Baby, this is why I keep telling you, darling, this. I really want you to understand astrology so you can see where I go on. Let me tell you about this first. There's a risk that past mistakes could be repeated. Don't shy away from doing things differently this time. The past always comes to what? Rob, kill, steal and destroy, darling dear. Don't allow it, big cat. Do things differently. I told you, the Capricorn new moon is giving us what? A razor sharp mind, right? And you have to remember, right? Remember your hairline, right? Remember it, big cat. Don't let the same flame burn you again, darling dear. That is so 2017. Don't forget that someone who is not familiar with your ways isn't necessarily attacking you, darling dear. However, they can still be filed away. For closer examination, if they dare to rear their ugly head again, big cat, fist bump. This is what I wanted to tell you about the Capricorn new moon, right? Which has got a problem, right, with Mars in Gemini, right? Mars rules Aries, so it's about the self, right? Mars is impulsive, Mars is wise, and whatever, right? You listening, darling dears? Pay attention, right? And then we've got the what? It's in Gemini, so Gemini is ruled by Mercury, right? Mars knows that Saturn runs things, blood. What do you mean? When they don't want Saturn, right, to cause any problems, because when Saturn is ready, right, which it does every 2.5 years, Saturn will go into their home sign and hiff up things for 2.5 years, blood. So nobody wanted too much have an argument with Saturn, right? So Saturn is on the back of Capricorn, right? The Capricorn, right? And it's on the back of the moon, right? So Saturn is saying, I'm running everything, blood. Otherwise everybody's getting karma, right? Because I rule time and I will sit in your house and F up everyone that lives in that house, right? So then check this out, right? So then hold on a minute. So Mars is trying to kick off because Mars likes to be impulsive. Mars likes to be the leader. Mars understands it's wise, but you don't F with Saturn, right? So in comes Mercury. Mercury is masculine and feminine energy and says, can't we have a smoke and just be friends? Can't we all be friends? Because Mercury knows that Saturn will mash up everything. Everything is checkmate. And Mars don't forget because, Saturn don't forget because it's the father of time. This is why you need to understand what going on with the astrology, darling dears. Thank you very much, Order Die, for the 4444 fist bump. You know, I buy lots of honeydew melons and put them in baggies, darling dear. I eat from no one. And my bottle is always in my water is always in a sealed bottle, right? Because I like the fizzy waters. But there's this guy on TikTok. Can we have a quick chat, big cat? This guy on TikTok, he's gonna have me eating just grain, right? Sitting barefoot in the field. He put me off I can't eat the hot dogs anymore because he showed proof, scientific proof, that it's got 2% of human DNA. I can't have them, right? He made me stop eating pasta, right, with the tomato sauce because the tomatoes and the pasta don't go together because it's bloating. I can't eat a cheeseburger because he went right in on the cheese and the burger. Two things that are not, listen. That guy's gonna have me in a field, right, naked, barefoot, eating grain, right? And you know I don't like to be on the field. I told you, my progeny and I decided, me, myself and I decided that I must go into the barn, right? Because on the field is the devil's strongest workers that come to rob, kill, steal, and destroy, big cat. Anyhow, let me finish with the planetary energies, darling dears. Can you feel me now? I want you to understand astrology. All the planets, right? They like to come with their film. They only like pow pow when Saturn is kaboom. Nobody wants to F with Saturn. So don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it. The moon is thinking, yeah, the moon is Douglas, but the moon has got a bigger planet than all of the others, right? The one ring that rules them all to F up everything. So this Capricorn new moon is about tying up the loose ends because you don't want the karma. And you don't want these time traveling, Douglas hood-looking alfalfas to think that they could dare step a toe into your new life that you co-created in the name of Father God, Mother Isis. I think not, Scott, eh? I think not. Had to put my back in it. The final information about the planetary energies, darling dears. Chiron, right? Chiron is going direct in Aries. So you know Chiron is all about your healing. And when it's gone direct in Aries, it's about yourself, your ego, your identity, darling dears. As you close the ending of 2022, darling dears, it's important to let go of the past so that healing can truly begin. Many of you are saying that you've already healed from past situations. Baby, if that situation comes up in your mind and you're cussing with I, myself, and me, that you ain't healed, darling dears. Use the energy, darling dears, to get things into perspective, darling dears, right? With a sound mind, right? Use the energy of Mercury, darling dears. Mercury always says, come on, let's not argue. Can we find some common ground to be friends? Tie up those loose ends, darling dear, and take one look over your shoulder at the past, as the outcast says, because roses really smell like poo poo poo. Yes, baby, fist bump to the outcast. Anyhow, let us call in the energies of wisdom, guidance, and protection from Father God, Mother Isis, ancestors, angels, way showers, and spiritual guides. From Keitha to Malkuth. Namaste. Before we press on, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Big Cat, I've been doing some reading and research over the past couple of days, and I've been researching. Guess what I was researching? Not what you think. I was researching prayer. I was. And I came across this gentleman. I've written his name. I'll tell you his name next week because I can't run into my boudoir and get everything right now. But I found this gentleman, and he said, right, that when you pray, right, it's like you're asking, you're begging, you're pleading for something, to a certain outcome to actually come to fall, right? Come to pass, right? But the man said, when you say, after you say amen, you're meant to what? Clap your hands and say, I command it. Why? You're activating the chakras in your hands. And you have to remember, everything is in the palm of your hands, which you don't realize, darling dears. And when I heard him say that, it made everything just slide into place. When you pray, you say what it is that you've got on your mind, on your heart, what is weighing heavy, what you want to speak to the Most High about, right? And then you say exactly how you want the situation to go. You say amen, then you slap those chakras together in your hands, right? And say, I command it, right? Because you are putting yourself into a different energy field. You're raising your frequency. And not only that, after you've said what you said, right? You said amen, and you've clapped those hands, and you said, I'm telling you, you get an adrenaline rush. I'm telling you, Big Cat, I always give you the keys, because as I stand up, we're like Thelma and Louise. We're besties. You must stand up too, darling dear. Anyhow, let's press on, right? Because at this moment, as you continue to tie up your loose ends and get it into a neat bow, and then you put the what? The napalm on it, darling dear, and blow that bitch up, because it can't come with you. You have to realize that you are what? Lacing on, right? Your spiritual trainers. In US, they call it gym shoes or sneakers. Well, in the UK, you in the UK with me, and you're Jamaican. While we do this read, right? We call them trainers. You're lacing on your spiritual trainers, darling dears. Tie up those loose ends emotionally, physically as well as the financially, darling dears. Get on top of your shiznai before this year ends. If it means payment plans, you do that shit, right? You do it. As well as what? Get your progeny in line, because there's some ungrateful progenies out there. Look what's going on with Master P and Little Romeo, right? All of that humiliation online when he could have spoken to his dad. Entitlement, darling dear. You as a Big Cat may not have as much Skrilla as Master P, but you've spoiled your children in such a way that they are entitled. Oh, listen, I told you. Even my own progeny turned to me and I said, what do you want for your 19th birthday on the 1st of January? He goes, Mummy. Well, he doesn't call me Mummy, he calls me Mother, right? Or Mum, right? Ever since his voice broke, it's Mother or Mum, right? He said, Mummy, shut up, Case. He said, Mother, I want you to make it rain. Oh, hell no! The only raining he's gonna hear, right? I put on my sequin top, will be me lunging, right, into my boudoir to lock the door and secure all of my finances. Are you mad? That's entitlement. Even though I don't have problematic progeny, darling dear, and I swear to you, if they was bad, I would have told you about it, because it would have been a teaching lesson, right? My progeny are not disrespectful to me. not by tone, by word. They do squiffy things like not clean their room, but that's why I can't understand how some people turn around and tell me that their progeny tells them to F off and what they must go and suck and all of that. I can't imagine it. Why? Because I can imagine myself in prison. I can imagine myself being one progeny down. You can't allow, right, the inside to disrespect you. And they will disrespect if you stay in dysfunctional paradigms where they see you being treated as a thumber. They will. Right, have I finished telling you off? Yes, I have. As I was saying, darling dear, you are at the what? Get ready, go. Right, on your marks, darling dear. Make sure you tie up those loose ends as you proceed. What's going on here? Because as you do that, darling dear, you will understand that you are what it means to sit on your throne, darling dears, completely seated within your own power. You fully occupy your own land, your kingdom, which is you, darling dears, the only commodity that you get to take with you everywhere you go on this Malkuth. This means that you are totally comfortable within your own skin and can stand anywhere in the world and be at home. Why? Because you are a soldier for the light, darling dear, a chosen one, a light bearer star seed. There is nowhere that you can't go. You step into every arena with your shoulders back, head high, as though Father God called you into that room, darling dear. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper. When you understand that you are firmly seated on your throne, you are in command of your own land and kingdom, which is thyself. I've got to cut my fan on now, because I'm telling you. It's the essence of what? Resilience, darling dear. Your get-up game, your bounce-back game. That is what you have to have your A game on, darling dear. You will lose many things in this lifetime, but you must never ever lose yourself again, big cat. Not to a what? Another mere human being, a mere mortal who has a lifespan that is not even a blink of an eye for the Most High, Father God, Mother Isis. Understand your worth, darling dears, and always add tax. The state of the big cat ship is the art of being balanced, darling dear, and balance comes from within. Use the energy of Aries being direct in Chiron, darling dear. Chiron being direct in Aries today. Go to your birth natal chart, find out where your Chiron is, and in whatever house it falls into, darling dear, these are the tools you will have to use to tie up your loose ends today. You are being firmly rooted and will never have the flip-flop askew, darling dear. What's that? Your common sense. When you understand whom you are and what you command, your words carry spiritual weight, darling dear. Your thoughts are being manifested in lightning speed. This is why you can't have your thoughts on past situations that you've outgrown. And if there's anything that you need to give to that situation, give it to that situation today, darling dears, under the energy of the Capricorn new moon. Because you've got big things to be getting to in 2023, darling dears. Knowing where and what you stand for it's rare, darling dear. It's rare. And you are rare, darling dears. You are rare. And more than a conqueror. And you better make sure that you've tied up your spiritual trainers tight, and with a double knot. Let's press on at a hot trot, darling dears, because I've been talking for 20 minutes about this and that. Right, we're going to get the ancestors. We're going to use the cards gifted to me by... What was that? I keep seeing something flashing at the corner of my eye. Did you see a flash on the screen, big cat, or is it me? Listen. What does your ancestors want you to know today? under this Capricorn new moon, as Chiron goes direct in Aries, as Mars tries to bud up Saturn and Mercury has to come in to say, let's try and be friends. Fist bump. What does your ancestors want you to know? Thank you. What's this? The light priestess. Galactic wisdom, cosmic ritual, darling dear. What did I say? Tie up the loose ends. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually today. Use the energy to tie it up. And it's all about you, darling dear. You're having your own personal Truman show today, darling dear. You're being watched by your ancestral team. They're watching to see what choice you make today, darling dears. Are you going to what? Bury your head in the sand and feel that, okay, I'm okay where I am? That's complacency, darling dear. Pwah! That's kryptonite to a big cat. It's on a 6. The 6 is the energy of what? Gemini, which is what? Mercury, who just said to Saturn and Mars, can't we be friends? I'm telling you, everything is kicking off. The 6 is the Gemini energy. It's about making the right choices, the right contracts, but you have to be doing it from a rational mind. Mercury energy, darling dears. What's on the base? We've got the Dawn Watcher, a caretaker, guardian, and support, darling dears. And it's on a 13. So 13 is a very transitional number, darling dears. Transformation, Scorpio energy. This is what? Rise of the big cat, darling dear. A spiritual lesson in ascension, darling dear. It's also about not confusing what? Water, right? With wine, darling dears. It's about you. Somebody's coming out of depression, darling dear. This is what the clouds are depicting. But you have to understand, depression is when you get depressed, darling dears, there's something in your life, that particular aspect that you're depressed over, that is what needs to change. But your mind, that is you conditioned to being in that situation, wants you to stay there. No, babe, you have to fight your way out of it. Don't give up, big cat. Claim dominion over yourself. Call in your ancestral team at any time. They're your security. I told you many times, big cat. It's rich like white lady season on Keitha. As well as Malkuth. Call in your support team, darling dears. To give you guidance because you are never alone. Oh, I'm loving the way everything, you know I love purple in it. Especially how it goes with the lilac. I got the candle, the cards came out. And what's on the base now? Kindred spirits. Because you are a big cat, I'm a big cat. We've got the 2 and a 3 that goes to a 5. It says spiritual companions, guides and comfort. Call your ancestral team, darling dear. And some of you need to get grounded. Get grounded. Get your feet on some grass. Yes, baby. Or go to a body of water. Yes, I know it may be too cold to get in it, darling dear, but go there. Water, a large body of water is when the veil is thinnest. So you can speak to your newest ancestors, darling dears. For those that recently had people pass on in their lives. Let's push on with the runes. Shall we use these ones? Why not? Oh, you've got 2 of them. The first one, darling dears, is Nathaz. This is represented by the Strength card in Tarot, darling dears. Big cat Leo energy. It also speaks about what? Not being tempted by the vagabonds that you have to leave in the past. Yes, baby. Don't be tempted to argue or get into any form of confusion. If you owe anything to them, even if it's just what? Love and light. Give it to them, darling dear. Give it to them and keep it pushing. It's also represented by the letter N, the numbers 32, 33, 34, and 35. Divine wants you to be more what? Determined about your future. Yes, you've been patient, but in your patience, darling dears, you should have been what? A keyboard gangster, learning new things, getting the ultimate amount of what? Knowledge in whatever your chosen field is. Me personally, I like to know a bit about everything, so I've got reference material. So when it's time for me to research something, I've got a vague idea of what I'm looking for, darling dears. The Strength card also speaks about what? Being a hero, being the hero in your life, darling dear. It speaks into your spiritual strength, and it also speaks about messages coming towards you. You're going to be getting messages, downloads, possibly on the dream state. Yes, baby. Or physical messages on this Malkuth. When these messages come in, darling dear, make sure you're standing in your authority and show no weakness. I told you, someone or someone's want to see if you're weak, darling dear, right? Or feeble-minded and dull-eyed, prepared to take back their energy. They're banking on the chance that you might be feeling so lonely that you're prepared to go back to Guantanamo Bay as lightning strikes it, darling dear. Don't do it, big cat. Don't do it. I don't care who it is. If they already crossed you, darling dear, what do you think they're going to do if you allow them back in? Some people, you've got to leave them on the rocks of life. Whoa! You've also got Wunjo. This is represented by the Star card in Tarot. V and W, as well as the number 17. Wunjo is what a miracle is about to pop off in your hemisphere, darling dears. It also speaks about healing. When we speak about healing again, we're going to speak about what? Chiron going direct in Aries. This is a personal level of healing that you haven't achieved yet, darling dears. This is the once and for all putting down the ruminating thoughts, because I've already taught you how to what? Look at these thoughts in as the third party, because where does your thoughts come from? Science has not been able to prove that your thoughts come from your brain, so therefore it's something outside of yourself. And in order for the brain to be active, or even the pituitary gland to be active, why is it buried so deep in the brain? Because it gets its light from the heart. The heart is covered with fire energy. Am I digressing too much, big cat? Listen, let me carry on anyway. As I was saying, darling dears, this is a time for what? You to come into true fellowship with like-minded souls. Miracles are going, and for some, it's about fame, darling dear. If you've got a platform, you're about to get benefactors. Things are about to turn around for you. Whatever your you thing that you've got going on, darling dears. Love it. Star card is Aquarius energy. Aquarius is the 11th house. The 11th house is of technology as well as friendships, darling dears. It's also about your environment and where you put yourself going forward, darling dears. And it's also about your mind. The limitations that you put on your mind, you have to remember, those limitations were put on you by other people, people outside of yourself. You have progressive ideas. This is why you had to isolate yourself from certain situations. They couldn't see it for you. So therefore, they didn't want it for you. Remember I told you that, big cat? Pinky's up. Right, let's get some rune cards. I feel inclined to draw a domino. Big cat, lean in. You've got the 6 blank. This is what? This always, when you see a 6 and a blank, darling dear, because it's the right choices, Gemini energy, Mercury energy, but the blank is represented by the Fool. The Fool, right? Some kind of scandal is about to pop off, darling dear, or possibly in your life, or in the life of someone you knew from yesteryear, darling dears. Maybe they may be trying to come to you, darling dear, to avert said scandal, but remember, karma does not discriminate. You are in your Dharma season, darling dears, as you what? Continue to bend the matrix with your badass alchemist ways. Some scandal is trying to creep into your hemisphere. Don't allow it, big cat. Don't allow it. Many of you are saying, but you're not a... Listen. Let me just talk to you a moment, big cat. Well, even more than I already... Yes, I've got to talk to you because we're besties, right? You have to understand, darling dear. When you are walking alone, standing alone, you feel lonely. Why? Because of your dysfunctional past. Standing alone brings you peace. Peace gives you a chance to sort out your cranium, right? Your finances, darling dears. You sort out you. You break all soul ties. You learn about yourself and what you truly deserve on this Malkuth. You work on multiple streams of income. You become what? The head of your family, darling dear. Your new lineage that you put together. This is what I'm telling you, darling dears. There's so many things that you can find within yourself and build yourself up when you walk alone. People that you broke up with, darling dear, They ran into situations. Some people are scared to leave the dysfunctional situations, darling dears. And what did they do? They added more pain to the pain that they've got. And they want to do the what? Time traveling to come back to you. Don't you ever take someone back like that, darling dear. Better you go on what? Ann Summers and get a toy and break your own self off if that's what your issue is. I told you already, big cat. Pay your knees until you've healed 100%. And any situation you're going into, right, you're leading with what? Interviews, blood. I told you. We do the boosie badass. We interview everyone. Even if they come in holding Jesus or Buddha's hand. I don't care who it is. Your health is your wealth. Your mental health is your money in the spiritual bank, darling dear. And many will come to rob, kill, steal, and destroy, darling dears. Especially if they don't know how you did it. They'll be attracted to your light. What's that? What's your name? Suicidal at times? Good golly and gosh. Baby, you need to change your moniker, right? You need to change it to Child of the Light, because you have to understand, when you read something like that you wrote with your own hands, because your words are spells. Change your display name. Suicidal at times is not a word for you to carry, because every time your eye chakra sees it, you put it in your mind and you keep yourself stuck on the rinse and repeat. There's no space for healing. You have to remember, right? It's what you call yourself. This is why I tell you, you're a big cat. Change your moniker immediately. I'm not even going to read what you wrote there, because you've cast a spell over your own self. Stop it, darling dear. And I don't mean to pick on you. I told you I'm a pointer. Change that display moniker. Never you ever put something like that in a title for yourself. Right, let's press on. If I didn't have the fan on, I'd have to turn it on because I've got hot under my collar. Big cat, what's going on? Right, let's get some cards on the tablet and see what I go on. I'm going to use this deck. Base of your deck, the Hermit. This is what? The self-improvement, self-examination, darling. You're the going within. It also speaks about the spiritual protection. This is Virgo, whom's ruled by what? Mercury, darling dear. Mercury wants everyone to be friends, blood. If not, separate yourself. This also speaks about the betrayal. I told you, some kind of scandal is afoot. Whether in your own domicile, darling dears, or someone from the past who's trying to evade scandal is going to try and find you as a safe haven to give so you can share in their karma. Blood. Brah. Sistrine. Hey! Don't do it, Scotty. You'll be sorry. Let's see what the energies are today, darling dears, as we press on at a hot trot. Somebody who has a lack of control of their morals, darling dears, a lack of control of their mental capacity, darling dears. They've got the cognitive dissonance and they want to share it with as many people as possible. But this is also the Pentacles in the reverse, darling dears. If you don't tie up those loose ends as we fast approach 2023, you're going to start the new era, new age, a new year off in debt, darling dear. And there's more to pay when it's a spiritual debt, one which you knew that you could have alleviated. Releasing to control situations when you've got the time now to sort it out, darling dear. Yes, it may have your bank account in the deficit, but it's only a little bit, darling dear. Look at Master P. He lost millions and he's on his way to make $1 billion. Sometimes you got to give a little to get a lot. Capricorn as well as the sun energy. We've got the Capricorn sun, darling dear. Happy birthday, Capricorn! You thought I forgot? I'm a Capricorn too. I didn't forget. Love it. Yeah. In order to bring the true healing into your life, darling dears. The cards ain't ramping today. It's coming through with the true for you. 2 4s on the tablet, darling dears, speaks about the personal challenges that you have to overcome before the ending of 2022. You haven't got that much time, darling dear, to get all your ducks in order. Do it, big cat, because it's going to give you what? Mental clarity as well as healing. And in your healing, you will find direction, darling dears. To what? Sock it to them, big cat. You've got a captive audience. Trust and believe. Only your haters think they're better. You're better than them. This is why you've got the captive audience. And as I said, someone has to clap. Better them than you, big cat. Better them than you. Because why? You pee glitter. You shit cupcakes. And you fart rainbows. You ain't got no time, darling dear, to keeping yourself tied in what? A financial bind. A bind that's keeping your cranium in the what? Flying close to the wind, darling dear. Before you know it, you'll be barking at passing cars. This is the time where you use Chiron being direct in Aries to have your come to Jesus moment, to give yourself those epiphanies, that whatever ruminating thoughts you've got around past situations and circumstances with bottom feeders. You allow it, yeah? Allow it. It goes nowhere. We have about 80,000 thoughts per day, right? And guess what? 80% of them is the same thought you had yesterday. Ain't you tired of thinking the same? Ain't you tired? Let it go, darling dears. Let the thoughts around it go. It's not your business. Because you want to break those generational curses. If you allow this past energy to overtake you, if you allow these thoughts, right, to keep interrupting your rest and recuperation, the time when you should be laying down, right, listening to your higher mind, you're going to create generational curses going forward. And you also, if you're not giving unto Caesar what's due unto Caesar, you will be entering 2023, the year of the 7. The 7 is about reflection, assessment, and knowledge, darling dear. You'll be entering that year, right, with karmic debt, physical debt, right, rock pocketers. And I think we might have to break up, big cat. We might. Because I told you, I'm not a fake friend. I say it like it is. Hey, hey. 10 of Pentacles. If you don't put it down, darling dear, you're telling the universe that you want some more generational curses, darling dear. You haven't quite finished with the lessons. Don't take it into 2023 with you. Yeah. Because there's many watching you, darling dear. 7 of Wands in the upright is you standing your ground, square, being spiritually protected. There's many people that sent spiritual attacks your way. This is the evil eye, darling dear. Those malicious words. Many people are waiting for you to fall, darling dear. Whether mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. They want you to break. Someone from the past who you already said, love and light. Yes. Someone who has no true options or opportunities coming towards them, darling dear. This is someone's that are in a situation where love is not the true word, darling dear. This is a situation made in hate. Somebody using somebody. Yes, baby. All of this and that. Because they know they can't come near you, darling dear. They're waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to crash and burn, darling dear. A lot of negative spiritual energy has been sent your way, darling dear. This is why I tell you, the obsidian black crystal. Notice I've got mine on, darling dear. And guess what? Guess what, big cat? Not last night, but the night before, right? I was just coming back into my boudoir after I'd had a bath, right? And I looked down, and my clear quartz bracelet I've been wearing for a good 2 years, it broke. When your bracelet breaks, well, the last time that broke was the evil eye, but I replaced that. But when the clear quartz breaks, darling dears, it means that you've had a level of healing, but it also breaks when some kind of a spiritual attack was sent your way. I'm telling you, I've been going for it, darling dears. But I didn't shout and complain about it. What did I do? I got great. I armed myself even more and got even more dangerous. I focused on my goals, my aspirations, and my dreams. I stopped focusing what is no longer serving me, right? And what's not serving me is ruminating thoughts of the past. It's a waste of time. Pack that shit in, big cat. Pack it in. Someone's got the nostalgias, darling dears. But with the 6 of Cups in the reverse, they're not remembering things the way you remember them. You have to remember these time travelers that like to recreate history in their mind, darling dear. They're not remembering it. This is someone that would love to come back, but the cup that they give to you, darling dear, would be what? It'd be a Judas cup, darling dears. They're looking for healing themselves, Four of Swords, because they find themselves in karmic situations that they can't escape. They're not understanding that this is the karma they brought on themselves when they crossed you, darling dear, a divine child. Not everyone that comes into your life is a gift. You was a gift to them, big cat. Never you forget that. Your energy, your time, everything. What you poured into them to make them great. They use it, right? They play possum. They play possum to what you did for them, darling dear. But remember, God sits high and looks low. This is why they want you to be vulnerable, darling dears, so they can come back and be the shoe shine man in your life. Don't allow it. This person has no true love in their heart. This person is a narc. They don't even love themselves. They only loved what you did for them. They realize it now. They, them, and I'm. Something's not right with them, darling dear. Clarify the Four of Swords. Listen. Tell yourself the truth in every situation. This goes to Five of Swords. Again, it shows situations that you had to wash your face like David. These are narcs. These are gossipers. Everyone that you left behind, big cat. Remember I told you that? They're waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to live in the grey area. But you have the sword of truth roof. Pinkies up. Tell yourself the truth in every situation. And in some situations, when you tell yourself the truth, it's going to make you take to your bed. But don't stay there too long, big cat. Because if you stay in your bed too long, you will find the DNS. That's the dark night of the soul. I had to look over my shoulder. Because I'm the red light, green light champion of 79. And as are you, by proxy. Why? Because we're besties. And we go through it together. Tell yourself the truth, darling dears. Use clarity. And remember, anything that you want to change in your life, it's all well and good to pray and say amen, but you have to what? Clap your hands and command that change. Activate those chakras in your hands, darling dears. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you can bend the matrix any way you want. Don't bring what? Karma to the dharma that God, Father God, Mother Isis is trying to gift you at this moment in time. The past has no new opportunities for you, darling dears. There's nothing new to learn, and you are not on the same intellectual pay grade as what you was before, darling dears. Wisdom is for the wise. And the wisest person in the room is the cat with the listening ear, darling dears. And the inquisitive eyes. Nobody knows the extent of your intelligence until you open your mouth. Shut up, big cat, and pay attention to what's going on around you. Look how far you've come, Nine of Wands, wounded warrior. You've been through some things, darling dear. And every one of those bottom feeders are still at your back, paying attention. Can't you see the light at the top of every one of these staffs? Oh, they've got a hard on for you, big cat, because they're waiting for you to fall off. But remember, don't look back. Lot's wife, Salt Bay, you created those hallucins because their salt levels wasn't the same as yours. Don't look back, darling dear. Tell yourself the truth of that situation, how you got to where you was. Whatever they did to you, darling dear, it was a blessing. Remember, I told you that. It was a blessing. It was the catalyst to you awakening to whom you are and the energy you command. You are that power grid, big cat. Don't allow a dummy bat bring you back to what? Guantanamo Bay as lightning strikes. They gave you misophonia and pisanphobia and you're obstreperous. Face of the deck. Because justice. There is no higher court than the truth. Libra energy. Libra is what? The house of partnerships, of friendships, as well as contracts, darling dears. Divine wants you to also pay attention to what you sign going forward over the next, I heard the number 3 months. Very important, darling dears. Pay attention to the fine print. Not every offer that comes towards you is going to bring you to your greatness. Some is going to what? It's the back end of it. So be very careful of the partnerships and contracts you go into over the next 3 months. Ace of the deck. It's about your long-term plans, darling dears. Divine wants you to continue to focus on your long-term plans. For some of you, it's travel plans. And in many cases, some of you are sitting in a position where you're thinking you don't have the Pentacale for it. I told you it begins in the mind. Conceive, believe, and achieve. If you feel that you can't afford it, you never will, darling dear. I told you, everything on this Malkuth is about energy, and it's about commanding things into existence, darling dears. But you have to also remember, James 2:14, faith without works is dead. Dodo dead. It's all about you, darling dear. King of Cups, learning to master your emotions. The King of Cups is someone who is established, darling dear, right? And this is in order to be established and master your emotions. I told you, Chiron is directing Aries. Tie up those loose ends, the emotional ones, darling dears. If you're still getting angry or you're still hurt over a past situation, it's because you're not 100%, you haven't 100% cut that soul tie. Realize whom you are. You are the CEO of the best company on this Malkuth, the company of you, big cat. You can turn water into wine, but you have to believe it. Jesus said, as can I, so can you. It's time for you to start creating miracles in your life. You already saw Wunjo, the star card. It starts in your cranium, darling dears. Where are we at? We're at the 47. I'm such a chatty cat. I'm going to come back with the Capricorn 2023 read. After this, I'll do it. I'm going to record it. Because when I was reading it yesterday, it was so fancy, darling. It was turning me on. Did I do it already? Or am I coming back with the Pisces? I don't know. But anyway, let's carry on with the read. We need some more cards because we need to find out some more things, because that's what we do as big cat. We find out shit's naive. We lead them with the soul cards, darling dears. Final messages for the big cat. As Divine says, on your marks, get set. Peace, darling dear. Something that can't be bought or bartered. This is why you have to tie up all loose ends going into 2023. You are not using the mind or the ruminating thoughts of the past, darling dears. Every thought you have going forward is one of health, right? Prosperity, abundance, enlightenment. Use those thoughts, darling dears. Utilize them. And remember, peace is what is wanted on every level. Don't go around those that are not peaceful, and don't allow those that are not peaceful back into your life. And if you see the first red flag, seen as what? You are captain of the red flag team, darling dears. The coach, in fact. They got to go. Because if it's going to disturb your peace, right? Next thing you know, they're rapid with your hairline, and you've got a reverse friar tuck. No, blood. Told you, be obstreperous, darling dear. Treat yourself like a premature baby. How careful would you be with a premature baby? Treat yourself like that, big cat. Yeah. Because every failure that you've gone through, darling dears, was a chance to learn. Was it not Einstein or was it Edison that said that they failed 10,000 times? He learned 10,000 ways not to do shiz naim till he got it right. Fail your way to the top, darling dear, because at least you dared to try. Action, darling dear. And anyone trying to break into your peace, they must find you obstreperous and missing, right? Because they will be undisciplined and unfocused. And it's so easy to get caught up in that, crazy making world of someone else who is undisciplined and unfocused. And in saying that, I'm also going to go as far as to say, make the right contracts, right? With the Gemini energy, the lovers, the friendships, darling dear. You can only be friends with someone who is on your level, or on a level that you want to achieve. You can't be friends with somebody who's broke. Law number 5 of the 48 laws of power, big cat. 4 bottom feeders and you're hanging around. Guess who's going to be number 5? You've got to start cutting people off and be indiscriminate, darling dears. If they're living their life paycheck to paycheck, darling dear, you can't be around them because they will always be speaking lack and broccosity. Is that a word? Yes, it is. I've made a new word. Broccosity. Yeah, into your life. You can't be around them because the next thing you know, you too will focus on what's not working at this moment in time, right? And speaking more negativity into what you're building for yourself. You have to cut them off with a quickness. I told you, from there not making your eyes blink and your heart beat, right? You don't need them. You don't. Cut them off. I don't care who it is. They gotta go. Sometimes divine is not blessing you, darling dears, because divine wants you to be away from everyone around you that is going to take and still talk about you behind your back and say you didn't give me this. For the 99 things you've done, the one thing you can't do, darling dear, they'll have a silent war against you. Leave the homosexuals where they are. I said hobo. Base of the deck. Because some of them is crying into their fist right about now. You think you ain't the shit. You the shit, bitch. Hey, I'm not calling you a bitch, but you know what I'm saying, big cat. You're the shit. Do you know how many people is crying, wishing they had your discipline and focus? But yet all they do is focus on you, not realizing that you're a soldier for the light, and all that negativity, that spell work, those malicious words are being turned back around on them. Luke 62:22, they must cry into that fist. But they better cry out there, outside the perimeter. I feel like I need to know what's going on. Where's my tiny cards? Base of the deck. Turning your back, darling dear. But again, faith without works is dead. You have to work at it, darling dear. You have to put the effort in. Clarify this piece. Thank you. The peace that you have now, darling dears, is because divine wanted a transformation in your life. But everything is on divine timing. You got to get your mind right as well. Realize that you are a spiritual being and you are manifesting in what? Hyper speed, darling dears. And if the manifestations that are coming in are not what you expected, darling dear, it's because your mind is not right. You have to be deserving of it, darling dears, of one mind. Life-changing situations that failed. And it wasn't through no effort of your own, darling dear. You trusted people blindly. Well, guess what? We don't do that anymore. We do interviews, blood. We don't just give up our trust. We don't know these people. Just like that white lady said in The Color Purple when she made Sophia leave her family and go home with her. I don't know these people. Yeah. You don't know these. We're getting our Mariah Carey on as we get into our Inspector Clouseau mode. Quietly. We are keyboard gangsters. You have to protect yourself, big cat. I can't be there always for you. Sometimes I've got to go to sleep. Fist bump. New beginning, darling, their transformation season. Scorpio is the 8th house. The 8th house is the house of what? Joint finances. Many of you will be going into union, whether it's partnership, a platonic, right, or business, darling dear. Even the union of mother and child or father and child in 2023. But you have to have your mind right in order to have no regrets. This is not the time for you to be unfocused. This is you learning discipline, darling dear. And the biggest discipline comes within your own mind. Get your mind right, big cat. Divine is telling you to lace on your spiritual trainers. Tell me about this failure. Look, as we started the read, 4 of Pentacles on its face, darling dears. Those that fail to control their environment, those people that partied it up, darling dear, wasted their money, got into situations where they're wasting their money, their energy, they're losing their shiz naive, right? Because of the choices that they made, right? Now they want to heal and fall back, but they can't, because you have to what? You have to answer for the karma that you brought into your life. Somebody wants to mentally, or has already mentally left a situation, right, where they've what? Wasted a lot of money and time, darling dear. But they wasn't disciplined enough to save up money for themselves. So they can't leave. They're in a situation because they can't leave. What about this undisciplined, unfocused? It can't be a big cat. It really can't. Lack of focus. If you got a lack of focus, baby, expect the knife's edge for 2023. Hey, hey! And what's this? Yes, I don't blame you, mate, if you start drinking and drugging it up. Especially if you haven't got a lack of, if you've got a lack of focus, no discipline. This is about managing your time, right, darling dear, your energies. And those that try to what? Cast the big word, put the big word on you, darling dear. They opened up their own crown chakra to have what? Spiritual attachments. This is sexually transmitted demons in some cases. They've got a lot of attachments on them, and they don't understand why they're still living the life they're living. They're on the rinse and repeat of things that they did to you, they're doing to others, or others are still doing to them. They don't understand that they are the catalyst for everything. Well, they got to stay there. Crying to their fist they must. Let me ring my bell. Let that badu just stay with him. Yeah, we ain't having it, mate. We're not taking on no one else's karma. Sorry. Clarify the regret, please. Yeah. They're regretting the confusion they caused in your life, darling. The conflict that they brought to your door. When they should have been listening. When they should have been a helping hand. That hand was between your shoulder blades as they shoved you in the back. Over a precipice of life. Straight onto the rocks of life, darling dear. Well, guess what? They didn't figure that you would what? Do that other thing. What other C thing? Change. They didn't expect it. Right? They was laughing. They was all laughing and having a lovely time, darling dear. Until they wasn't. I told you them I got through it. But you must not go back to them, darling dear. When the Bible says, right, from the age of 12, you are responsible for yourself spiritually. They knew what they did to you, darling dear. The gossiping, the cheating, the lying. They knew it. When you see so many threes, in some cases it was a throuple. What they chose over you, darling dear, is a den of heathens. Heathens in a mud hut, darling dear, where they wasted a lot of time and energy. They're with somebody who likes to gossip and talk about someone else instead of focusing on their own astroturf, darling dear, where their time is not their own. This is somebody who has a partner who watches their every move, blood. They can't even take a piss without someone saying, honey, what are you doing in the bathroom? They can't do nothing. They're under surveillance. That's their business. You are the happiness expert, darling dears. Let that sun, this brilliant sun, the Capricorn sun, shine on you. This is the time where we dot our I's and cross our T's. Use the energy, darling dear, to tie up your loose ends as we take our careers to another level, darling dears. 2023 is our year to break the mold. The mold, darling dears. Why not? Let's get some final messages, then I'm out of here because we're at the 59. Time is running off. Where are we getting the final messages from? We're going to use the black cards, the wellness deck, the deck of the wicked, HEYOKA, and the calm club. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You tell me, how do you want to end it, darling dears? We've got Donnie Renee wants number 2. You want the black cards? Okay then, darling dear. That's the way I do it. Yes, baby. Base of your deck, you've got the Hierophant, darling dear. It speaks about being spiritually blessed, but it also is a reminder for you to stand in your authority. You're going to have many coming up to question you, darling dear, because you are going to be leading You're going to be seen as being wise because of the choices you made, how you've chosen to live your life going forward, darling dear. You'll have many bottom feeders trying to come up and question you, but it's only what to seek what they can destroy, darling dear. Be very careful. But it's also about being a teacher. Some of you will be going into a teaching role. This is the achievement of something, because the Hierophant also represents organizations, whether online or physical, darling dear. But this is about getting some kind of accolade, some kind of achievement. The Hierophant is also Taurus energy. Taurus is the second house of values, darling dears. How you see yourself. This is about getting your things together, darling dear. Look, only your haters see you as better than them, darling dear. And nothing like a hater to pay what close attention. They are Sputnik, these mouth breathers. They're just like the children of the corn, right? As the big cat, right? As your big cat chronicles continues. I told you, right? Didn't we just talk about the 8th house, darling dears? Do we need to talk about it again? It's the death and dying, darling dear. Dying to whom you was in order to transform in whom you was meant to be on this Malkuth. This is about the amassing of assets. I told you, we're going for what? The multiple streams of income. We are using the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin, darling dear. We are going so 21st century. You've also got the 11th house. The 11th house is what? Aquarius energy. Be careful of the friendships that are trying to be made with you. The 11th house also covers technology. Be careful whom you take as a friend online. The 11th house is also about stepchildren. If you had stepchildren in a situation, they're not doing very well at this moment in time. The stepchildren have become haters, right? Or possibly because they was abandoned by their parent. But the parent abandoned them at their own self, darling dear. Remember I told you that. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle to my Teespring, toddle to my Patreon, or simply come back here. And as I always say, don't get smoked. Don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Remember, big cat, tie up those loose ends. Cut off those ruminating thoughts. And when you pray and say amen, you command it into existence, big cat. Big cat.